matter in these signs, these profound themes? You must translate. It's fit we understand. Where is your son?
My good lord, what I have seen tonight.
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad, as the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the hours, hearing something stir, whips out his dagger, cries, a rat, and kills the unseen good old man.
A deed. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us. Where has he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will shift him hence, and this vile deed, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends, both, go seek you some further aid. Hamlet, in madness, hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's father hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, hasten this. Gertrude, come. We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know, both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away! My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Compounded it to dust whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where it is, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord.
Aye, one that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knave's speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is. Go with us to the king.
The body is with the king. But the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Of no thing. Bring me to him.
How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Ho, Guildenstern, bring in my lord.
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper, where?
Oh, not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms is even at him.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send for him hither to see. If your messenger find him not there, look for him in the other place, yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within the month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Who's he command? Hamlet.
He will stay till you come.
This deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, the wind did help, the associates tend, and everything is bent For England.
For England!
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewest our purposes.
Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. So, my mother. Good day, mother. To England!
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed, avoid, delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. For everything is sealed and done that else leans on this affair. I pray you, make haste. And England, if my love thou holdst at aught, our sovereign process doth import at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Says she hears there's tricks in the world and hems and beats her heart. Speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection.
Let her come in. Oh, my sick soul, as sin's true nature is. Each toy seems prologue to some great amiss, so full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoe.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf, at his heels a stone.
Look here, my lord.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, got up. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. My lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father, pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, blah, without an oath, I'll make an end on it.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep. To think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night!
Follow her close, I pray, and give her good watch. For this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. When sorrows come, they come not single spires, but in battalions. First, the father slain. Next, your son is gone. Last, and as much as containing all of these, her brother is in secret come from France.
Alack, what noise is this?
What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. To some Laertes in a riotous head.
Hold thou vile king! Give me my father!
What is the cause, good
Calmly, calmly,
Laertes?
good Laertes.
That thy rebellion looks so giant-like. Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed?
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with! To hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation! To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world, and for my needs I'll husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is 'twixt in your revenge that swoopstakes you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser.
None but his
Will
enemies.
you know them then?
To his good friends, this wide I'll open my arms.
That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall is leveled to your judgment pierce, as day does to your eye.
Oh, ye tray of my brains. Tears 7 times salt down, burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid by weight till I skelter in the beam. Oh, recently, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia.
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nonny, nonny, hey, nonny. And in his grave reigned many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
There's some rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. There's some pansies. That's for thoughts.
Document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines, and rue for you, and sun for me. We may call it her grace of Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would have given you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself should judge the favor into prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. He is gone, he's gone, and we cast away moan. God, have mercy on his soul. And for all Christian souls, I pray God, God, be with you.
Do you see this, oh God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief. Will you deny me right? Go but apart, make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we can ours, to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, no hatchment or his bones, no noble right, no formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as though from earth to heaven. That I must call in question.
And so you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
What is he that would speak with me?
A sailor, sir. Says there's a letter for you.
Well, let him come in. You do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee too.
He shall, sir, and to please him. I've a letter for you, sir. It comes from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, which I will let to know that it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give this fellow some means to the king. He has a letter for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letter I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. This good fellow will bring me where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will make you way for this your letter, and do it the speedier, that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats?
The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself I could not but by her.
And so have I your noble father lost. A sister driven into desperate terms was praised. If earth may go back again, stood challenger amount of all the age for her perfection. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeves for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. How now? What news?
A letter, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty.
From Hamlet. Who brought it?
Sailors, they say, my lord. I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear this. Leave us. I am mighty. You shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? For all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
I am lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his steed. Thus didst thou!
If it be so, Laertes, will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you will not o'errule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned, as checking at his voyage, I will work him to an exploit, now right in my device, where he shall not choose but fall. And for his wind of death shall breathe, his mother shall uncharged think it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travels much, and that in Hamlet's hearing for a quality wherein they say you shine. Your sum of parts could not together pluck such envy from him as did that one.
What part is that, my lord?
2 months since, here was a gentleman. He made confession of you that he did, and gave you such a masterly report with art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially, that he cried out, "'Twould be a sight indeed if one could match it." This report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with him. What would you undertake now, good Laertes, to show yourself your father's son, indeed more than words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned, shall know you are come home. Will put on those, shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame was given you, bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foil. So with ease or a little shuffling, you may choose a sword, unbaited, and in a path of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood. No cataclysm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion that, if I shall gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. If this should fail, this plan should have a back. I have it. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunning. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce. Whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold death. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sisters drown, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh. Where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, that shows its hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands she did come. There on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes as one incapable of her own distress. Soon, though, her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas then, she's drowned. Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. Therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze. This folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Richard. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Therefore, fair eye, this will give it start again. Let's follow.
Buried in a Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation.
I tell thee she is, therefore make her grave straight.
Well, how can that be? Unless she drowned herself in her own defense.
Why, 'tis found so.
There lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. And an act has three branches. It is to act, to do, and to perform. Argyle, she drowned herself wittingly.
Do you hear yourself?
Believe. Here lies the water, good. Here stands the man, good. If the man go to the water and drown himself, will he, nilly, he goes, mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, then he drown himself not. Argyle, he who is not guilty of his own death, does not shorten his own life.
Will you hear the truth on it? If she were not a gentlewoman, she would not be buried out a Christian burial.
There, thou sayest, and more's the pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves, more than they're even Christian. Have come my spade. There were no ancient gentlemen save for gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They held up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first who ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What? What, a heathen? How dost thou understand the scriptures? The scriptures say that Adam did. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker, for that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like you well, in good faith. The gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those who do ill. Now, how does ill to say that the gallows are built stronger than the church. Argyle, the gallows may do well to thee. Next time you're asked this question, say a grave maker. The houses he makes last till doomsday. Now, go fetch me a stoup of liquor. Oh, in youth, when I did love, methought 'twas very sweet to contract the time for all me behove. Oh, methought there was nothing meet.
This fellow hath no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making. Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness. 'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the day to your sense.
But age with its stealing steps has clawed me in its clutch and shipped me into the land as if I'd never been such. Ah.
That skull had a tongue in it that could sing once. Now the knave jowls it to the ground like it was Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Huh. This might be the pate of a politician that the ass now overreaches. One that might circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or a courtier who might say, "Good morrow, sweet lord. Good day, my good lord." This might be, my lord, such a one that praised my lord such a one's horse when he meant to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, Sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a bit of clay for to be made for such a guest as meet.
I think it be thine, for thou liest in it.
Well, thou lie out on it, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
I think thou do liest in't, to be in't, and say 'tis thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
Which is a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man,
For what woman, then?
for none neither.
Who's to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days of the year, I came to the day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent off to England.
Aye, marry. Why was he sent to England?
Because he's mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be noticed there. There the men are all as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, he went losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Well, here in Denmark. I've been a sexton here, man and boy, for some 30 years.
How long will a man lay in the earth ere he rots?
Now, Faith, if he not be rotten before he dies, some 8 years, 9 years. Here's a skull now. Whose do you think it is?
Nay, I know not.
Mad fellow. Curse him for a rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhonish on my head once. This skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even so.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jests, most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Now how abhorred in my imagination it is. Here hung the lips I kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one to mock your own grinning. Prithee, tell me one thing, Horatio.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked of this fashion in the earth?
E'en so.
And smelt so?
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio. But soft. Soft aside. Here comes the king. The queen. Courtiers. Who is this they follow in with such maimed rites?
This doth betoken the corpse they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life.
Was of some estate, couch we awhile in mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been far enlarged. As we have warranty, her death was doubtful, and but that great command o'ersways the order. She should in ground, unsanctified, have lodged.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done.
There you're. From her fair and unpolluted flesh, revive its spring. Now tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
What the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride meant to have decked, and not have strewn thy grave.
O triple woe, fall 10 times tremble on that cursed head. As wicked be thy most ingenious says the pride love. Hold off the earth awhile, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat mountain you've made, to ork up old Pelion or the sky shadow blue Olympus!
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane!
The devil take thy soul!
Would
my lord be quiet?
Nay, I'll fight with him on this theme till my eyelids no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him!
Show me what thou would do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them pour 1,000,000 acres on. And if thou mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
This is near madness, and that's a while the fit will work on him.
Why do you use me thus? I loved thee ever. 'Tis no matter. Let Hercules himself do as he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch o'er your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceedings be.
sir, now you shall see the other, that which transpired aboard the whilst in England. Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me. In the dark, groped I to find them out. Had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine returned again to my cabin. Making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal the Grand Commission, where I found, Horatio, O royal knavery, an exact command that on the supervised, no leisure baited, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission, read it at more leisure, but wilt thou know how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villainies, I sat me down and devised a new commission. Wilt thou hear the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
An exact, an earnest conjuration from the king. As England was his faithful tributary, as love, like the palm branch, might flourish, as peace should still her wheatened garland wear and stand a comma between their amities, and many other such like asses of great cause, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death.
How was this sealed?
Even in that was heaven ordinance. I had in my purse my father's signet, which was the very model of the Danish seal. Folded up the writ in form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. The next day was our sea fight. What to that was sequent, thou knowest already.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it.
My good man, they do by their own inclination go to their defeat. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow.
Why, what a king is this?
Is not required now of me. This villain kills my father and whores my mother. Is not required of me. Is it not in perfect conscience now to quit him? Is it not damnation to let this canker of all our nature grow in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life no more than to save one. But I am sorry, Horatio, that to Laertes I did forget myself. For by the image of my own cause do I see the portraiture of his. But sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace, who comes here?
Your lordship is welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir.
Sweet lord, if your lordship be at leisure, I must impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence. Put your bonnet to its right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is too hot.
Oh, believe me, it is cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But to me, I think it is very hot and sultry for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere, which I cannot tell how. His majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, sir.
Nay, good, my lord, mine it is. Sir, who newly comes to court? Laertes. Believe me, an excellent gentleman of great differences and very soft society, and great showing
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
of Laertes.
His purse is empty already. All's golden words spent of him, sir.
Are you ignorant of the excellence of Laertes?
I could not say this lest I compare with the excellence of him, though to know a man well were to know himself.
You mean but for his weapon?
What's his weapon?
A rapier and a dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but so.
The king, sir, has wagered between you and him that within a dozen passes, you will not exceed him 12 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it should come to immediate trial if your lordship will vouchsafe the answer.
Sir, I will walk in the hall a while. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold to his purpose, I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but loosen my pride and gain a few hits.
Shall I redeliver you in so?
To the effect, sir, after what flourish you will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
This lapwing runs away with the shell on his head. You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he's been in France, I've been in continual practice. I'll win at the odds. Thou wouldst not think, Horatio, how ill all's with here in my heart.
Oh, nay, good, my lord,
Tis but foolery. Tis the kind of gain-giving that might, perhaps, trouble a woman.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither, and say you are not fit.
Not to wait. We defy prophecy. There is a certain divine prophecy, a divine meaning in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, then 'tis now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man knows aught of when he leaves, what is it to leave betimes?
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. Pardon it, as you are a gentleman. This presence here knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. That which I have done, which might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be taken away, and while he is not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If it be so, then Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot mine arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case is to me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor I stand aloof and will no reconcilement, till by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice in precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But till that time, I do receive your offered love, like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. Will a brother's wager frankly play? Come, the foils!
Come, one for me.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. I Grace has laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. But since he is bettered, we therefore have odds. Come, set me the stoups of wine upon that table. The king dunks to Hamlet. Come, you judges, bear a weary eye. Come now, begin.
Come, my lord.
Come.
What?
No!
Judgment!
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay! Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here to thy health. Bring him the cup.
I'll play this bout first, set it by a while. Another hit, what say you?
Touch, touch, I do confess.
Come, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Good. Do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, forgive me.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
By and by, madam. I dare not drink now.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think.
It is almost against my conscience.
Come, Laertes, for the third. You do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I fear you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on.
Either way.
How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
I has it worked up to my own spring. I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
What does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No! No! The drink! The drink! Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink! The drink, I am poisoned.
Villainy! Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Find it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. Indeed, there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul poison have turned himself on me low. Here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point in venom too. Then venom to thy work!
Oh!
Treason!
I am but hurt.
Oh, you murderous, damned Dane! Drink off this potion! Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He justly served as a poisoned temper claims himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death call not on thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. Oh, follow thee. I'm dead, Horatio. Oh, wretched queen, adieu. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
You'll never believe it. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane.
Here's yet some liquor left. As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go. I say, I'll have it. Good Horatio. What a wounded name, things being thus unknown, I leave behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Oh, I die, Horatio.
The ambassador from England has arrived.
Oh, the potent poison quite overgrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England. Tell him of the occurrence, more or less, which I've solicited. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart.
Where is this sight?
What is it ye would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
The sight is dismal. And our affairs from England have come too late. The ears are senseless should give us hearing. The town thou's commandment is fulfilled. That Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth have the ability of life to thank him. He never gave commandment for their death. But now, so please, give order that these bodies high on the stage be placed to the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world of how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, and deaths put on by cunning and forced cause. And in this upshot, purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors as reeds. All this can I truly deliver. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing me to thy rest.